Okay, hey guys, so we're back with another Python tutorial, and we're just going to talk a little bit about something called a function, because in the last video we talked about something called a conditional, and we also talked about the print statement, so we were able to print hello world to the screen. But today we're going to talk about something that kind of confused me in the very beginning whenever I was just starting out. It's something called a function. So what a function does is basically it's a bit of code that you can run at any point during your program, right? And you can input and output variables from that bit of code, which is it's quite nice to be able to deal with that. So let me just give you an example. So to define a variable, if you have any experience with programming, you know there's always a way to define a variable. So to define one, then you just do a def, and you do tuts. Well, that's what I'm going to name my function. And then we put parentheses and then a colon. And in here you would put parameters, but we're going to talk about those a little bit later. So let's first print a variable. So we're going to define a variable in here, and these are what are called local variables. So we're going to define a variable here, and we're going to say this is 8, and then we're going to print a, and that should run just fine. We run this. We bring this over here. So let me restart the program. So it didn't print A. So there's a problem here. Yes. Minor mistake. So you also have to be able to run the variable. You have to call the function, or else it doesn't know what to do. Yeah, little mistake there. So yeah, now it printed 8. So that is what a function would do in the most basic form, of course. Say that we have a variable that's not in the function. Well, you may be wondering, well, what do we do? I don't know. So if we have a variable that's outside the function, let's say this is 6, then whenever we call this variable, or whenever we call this function, we have to specify first that we want a variable to go in here. So we want this to go here, where we want it to correspond. And you can also, if you wanted to, this might make it more clear. So if you could also set it to B, and then whenever you call the function, you set it to A. So it will swap that back and forth. So if you run this, it will print 6. So we have run this variable. So another thing that I probably should have mentioned in the last video is comments. So basically, whenever you make code, you want to make it so other people can read it and understand it, and also so if you come back to your code after a little while, you want to be able to understand it as well. So basically you want to put little notes like this is a function that we are running. So stuff like that. And if you wanted multi-line comments, you would just do, and then in between here you would put anything that you want. Or I think it's this. I don't really do multi-line comments. Yeah. So it's three apostrophes, and you can put anything you want in there. So that's how that works. Now I want to go on to something a little bit more different for functions. So what if you wanted to make that variable pop back out of there? So if you wanted to, say, return the variable outside of the function, then you would do a command that's called return, and you would put in the variable that you want to return, and then whenever you want to print that, obviously it's going to already print, or if you want to set that variable something, but we're just going to print this part. So so we're going to print that with a inside of it. And that should work. Oh. I think that's what we were missing. Oh, okay. Oops. It should have auto-spaced, but I guess not. So yeah, now we get 666. Ooh, oh, so scary. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you want to see more, I'm going to be making more videos like this. So go ahead and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you in the next video.